All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Miro 36. My name is Vincent with DTF Station, and I want you guys to have some confidence when you're selling the Miro 36. I like to say the Miro 36 or any of our Miro series are simple shaker dryers that are going to make a big difference when it comes to pairing with your DTF printer. So why choose the Miro series? Well, when the Miro series were created, reliability, safety, and efficiency were all in mind. You can have the best DTF printer on the market, but if you don't pair it with a shaker that's simple and easy to operate, it doesn't matter. So the shaker is just as important as the actual printer itself. All right, so when we're talking about the Miro series, you're going to find out that you have a competitive edge when you're competing against other shaker dryers that are on the market. The first and foremost is that our Miro series has lower heated platen. So what this actually means is that there's no heat bulbs, and how it applies the heat is different than any other shaker that's on the market. Our shaker dryers also have built-in purification that's patented by DTF Station. It has a HEPA and a charcoal filter with fans that pull all the fumes through the filtration system, meaning that there's no smoke. And so again, when you're competing against other shaker dryers, you need to keep in mind that we have two patents on it. When we're talking about shaker dryers, it's super important to understand that we can be competitive against any shaker dryer based on our lower heating platen and our built-in purification system. Now, when we're talking about our Miro series of lineups, the Miro 36 is a 36-inch shaker dryer, but it's energy efficient. It's 110 power. It doesn't matter if it's Miro 13, Miro 24, Miro 36, it's 110 power, which means you can run this out of your home. You don't need to install a 220 line, making the Miro 36 the perfect option for home users. Now, when we're talking about home users, one of the most important things is it has to fit in your home. If it's too big and it won't fit in your home, you automatically lose that customer. And so the Miro 36 comes in two pieces. You actually just push the units together. There's two screws on each side, and it fits through a standard doorway. So again, if a customer needs a DTF printer, they need to run it out of their home, the Miro 36 is a perfect option. Now again, safety is super important when we're talking about DTF. Our HEPA and charcoal filter make it safe. There's there's fans that pull those fumes up to ensure there's no smoke. Again, safety's first. We don't need special ventilation. We don't need a secondary unit. Miro 36 has it all built in. Now, when we're talking about user interface, we want to keep it simple. Again, the Miro 36, all of our Miro shakers need to be simple. And so our touchscreen, although it's touchscreen, is very easy to operate. There's a front heat, there's a main heat, and then there's a shaker setting. That's all they really can operate. And so it makes it really easy from operator to new user learning how to use our Miro 36 and makes it a breeze. We want to make it as simple as possible. Now, when we're loading media, I know sometimes it can be a pain in the butt to make sure it's nice and straight, but we have alignment guides on the front of the machine and on the back of the machine that ensures that every time you load that media to that take-up reel, it's going to be nice and straight with your printer. We're going to reduce head strikes by these little alignment guides. And so again, we're trying to keep it simple, but make it easy and flawless to operate. You'll notice on the Miro 36 or on any of our Miro series is that we have a preheat system. If your shaker dryer doesn't have that, they shouldn't be using it. The preheat is super important. If we're going to apply a lot of wet ink on a film, we need it to be able to gel. We need it to heat before it gets powdered. And so our Miro 36 has a longer preheat system than some other shaker dryers because we can put a lot of ink on that film and not worry about it dripping. It's also adjustable. And so if a customer is asking about a different DTF printer, I'm pretty confident it's going to work because again, that preheat can adjust up and down. Now, when we're talking about the Miro 36 or any of the Miro series for that matter, I want you to pair it with whatever DTF printers out there, not just prestige units. Maybe you sell the new Epson G6070. The Miro 36 is perfect for that unit. It's going to match the exact size. You're going to get the full width of that G6070 printer. Maybe you're selling the new Roland or Mimaki. Those are both 30-inch machines. Use the Miro 36. It's 110 power. It fits through a standard door. It's going to work perfectly with it. Or maybe you sell the STS XPD 924. Again, there is no DTF printer that's not going to work with our Miro series, and you should be using the Miro 13, 24, or 36. So what's important when we're selling the Miro is to know what we're competing against. There's a lot of shaker dryers out there that you'll see at trade shows, and so I want you to be confident and understand how we're going to win against these other shaker dryers. So one shaker dryer that I see pretty often is called the BMAC Super Shaker. Now this shaker is going to be only 32 inches of media, so it's going to take less media than the Miro 36. So you're probably going to see this paired with either the Roland or the Mimaki. But this shaker dryer is 220 power. So if a customer calls, needs it for home use, this one's already eliminated. If you can't put 220 in a home, Miro 36 right away. Plus, there's no built-in filtration system on this. It's 9999 without purification. So if you're looking out the door, this is going to cost you well over $10,000 just for the shaker dryer. It's probably going to cost as much as the printer you're pairing it with, which is kind of crazy to me. It is cool because it is modular. It fits through a standard door because it comes in pieces, but I don't see the point in using that if you can't use it in home use because of the electrical requirements. So we should not lose deals to the BMAC Super Shaker. The new one that I see a lot of is the RDTF S800. You're going to see this paired with the Roland and Mimaki. It is only 30 inches wide, so probably not with the new Epson G6070, but it does have built-in purification, which is nice. But here's the kicker. It's 220 power and it does not fit through a standard door. So again, it's very limited onto who we can sell it to. And there's not a whole lot of videos or content on this unit. So it kind of eliminates itself. Now this is probably the most popular one that you're going to find because it is 36 inches. So now we're talking apples to apples when we're comparing it to the Miro 36. This is the EasyJet 36. So it is a 36-inch shaker dryer. And there is a claim that it can fit through a standard doorway. Now, I was able to see this firsthand at a show, kind of got an idea of how they make that claim because it is a big unit. And so you actually have to physically take off this top section. So you have to disassemble the filtration system on top. You have to put the units on its side with the casters on and push it through a door. Now, it weighs 500 pounds. I don't know if that's feasible for me. It can fit through a standard door, but I would say that it most likely should not fit through a standard door because it's going to take a lot of work. Also, if you've ever operated a shaker that looks similar to this one, you're going to know that the sensor for the film is outside. And so you have to make that U shape. And when you're pairing this with a G6070, to get to your inks, it's going to be where that U shape is at. And so if your machine says, hey, I need to pause, you need to shake your white ink, it's almost impossible to get to your actual ink. And so it's not going to work very well with the new Epson G6070. And the other thing is that there's a powder sensor. The Miro 36, we like to keep it simple. We don't need all these features, but this shaker has a powder sensor. When it's low, it won't continue to advance the media forward. The problem is that little spring, it wears out over time. And so if again, you're adding too many features to a shaker dryer, you're making it more complicated for the end user. And the other big selling point is that their price is $7,995 for just the shaker dryer. The Miro 36, you're looking at $6,995, and so we're about $1,000 less than theirs. And so their bundles are always going to be about $1,000 more. We should not lose deals to the EasyJet 36. And there's one other thing, if you are competing against it, they might mention, hey, that theirs has a vacuum, which is true. But if you've ever used a shaker dryer with a vacuum on it, over time, it kind of causes alignment issues. The only benefit is that you can print without it attached to the take-up reel. But with the Miro 36, you can easily cut it. We give you clamps to keep the film nice and tight and to feed while it's printing. And so it is doable, but we don't need a vacuum, guys. The Miro 36, we keep it simple. Now we have this awesome comparison chart that you can take a photo of, you can screenshot. We are going to post this on YouTube as well, so you can watch it live on YouTube. But this chart should be something that you can use when you're competing against other companies that have similar printers with different shakers. Again, if your shaker dryer doesn't check all the boxes that the Miro 36 does, there's no reason to look elsewhere. Standard doorway, 110 power, built-in filtration, lighter than all the other units, no vacuum system needed. Price point is pretty darn sweet. So guys, the Miro 36 easily beats these other shakers. One thing you're going to notice as well is that we offer the quick start guide, just like all of our printers. Your user is going to get this. So I want you to have a peace of mind knowing that when they get their shaker dryer, that it's going to be easy for them to operate and that they have all the video resources available. They can scan the QR code. It's an install video. They can scan it to show how to operate, how to run production with their Miro products. So all the resources are going to be available to them. It's on the website. And if you're a dealer, you can go in the drive folder and you can get access to all this material beforehand. I want you guys to be confident and comfortable selling the Miro 36 because again, it is the most simple shaker dryer on the market. And that's all I have for you guys today on the Miro 36. I do plan on doing these weekly on different products and new products. If you have any suggestions or products you want to go over, let me know, but scan the QR code for more information. It'll take you to the Miro 36 landing. Again, the Miro 36 is simple, and we should be able to beat any other shaker dryer on the market for all the reasons that were stated. So again, thank you so much. This is Vincent with DTF Station. You have a great day.